"Oh, Captain, my Captain," is a quote from something in the world of literature at one point, but the important part about a captain is Leeds United have been without their first choice one for a good while now. Dropped out of the side because of an injury and has not managed to recover quite yet, with some theorising that he might be out till the end of the season, some thinking before, but we have a pretty good and positive update as Leeds United are set for a pretty major return. But first, I've got a little something to announce, and that is the fact that Match Bingo have agreed to be the channel sponsor for the coming month to the end of the season and have also agreed to support the charity match. Now, I'm going to do a quick video to explain this, but I sort of have to read this as it plays, so 1 second. Here we go. Match Bingo offers a new and exciting way of watching football. You can simply get yourself a bingo card, and every in-play action can be as big as a goal as you watch your cards fill up in real time. There are prizes for 1 line, 2 lines, and a full house. However, you need to remember that gambling involves risk, and please only gamble with funds that you can comfortably afford to lose. I think I did that pretty okay, but if you're interested, there is a QR code down here. Following that will help me out a little bit, and it will help the charity match out as well. They are massively being helpful towards that, so if you fancy it, give it a download and let me know what you think. Anyway, back to the main bit of the story. It's looking like Ethan Ampadu's recovery is nicely ahead of schedule. So I'm going to very specifically take a quick look at the report that's come out, which initially came from the Yorkshire Evening Post, who have said there's increasing confidence the midfielder will be back in action for Leeds sooner than expected, opting to stay at Thorpe Arch and undergo his rehab rather than join the Wales training camp, and there's optimism around his return. Now, for me, the fact that it was his decision to say, I'm going to stick around with Leeds at Thorpe Arch rather than go to Wales tells me that the Wales thing was an option that was given to him. Tells me that if he wanted, he could have quite easily gone to the Montenegro and Kazakhstan matches, but decided, I'm going to stay here, I'm going to get 100%, and I'm going to get Leeds to the title. And this also tells me that he's very, very close, because you don't stay doing rehab and have the option to turn down a call-up if you're not incredibly close to actually playing some football. And this is significantly better than what the worst-case scenario looked like, because the worst-case scenario was bad. The worst case was the recovery doesn't work, needs to have a surgery or something along those lines, and he's out until the end of the season. If that's what happens, very big problems for Leeds United, because Ethan Ampadu is ultimately the core of that backline. Whilst, yeah, the article I was reading from said midfielder, because technically he's a midfielder, but also a defender, really hard to decide sometimes. He holds that defence together. We've just got to think on some of the goals we've conceded recently. There was the one where Joe Rodon loses his man, there's a run in behind, chipped past Ilan Meli in a one-on-one. I don't think that happens if we've got Ethan Ampadu, because he's great at getting that back line switched on. I don't think Aronson gives the ball away quite so easily for, was it QPR maybe? I think a QPR player, to just thunder home. I don't think Aronson makes that mistake if Ampadu's there, because Ampadu is going to lose his nut if that happens, and I think everyone takes another moment to consider when Ethan Ampadu is on the pitch. Same for the other goal we conceded in that match. Comes from a throw-in, and the defence is nowhere. There is no one marking the man that scores. And I don't think that happens if we have that organisational structure. Because looking at when we do and we don't have Ethan Ampadu, the one big difference that I am able to note is that you can quite visibly tell when we do not have the Welshman in the backline. Because things fall apart more easily and the mentality drops a bit and people are losing their men a little bit more often. And if we're able to just hold that shape together, then I don't think we have a problem getting promoted. I think there's a very clear correlation between the fact that Ampadu drops out of the team and then we start dropping points, which we really need to pay attention to. And the next banner I've put down is, does it matter? And I'll be honest, I've already sort of semi-answered this, because it absolutely does. For me, we need all effective hands on deck right now. Because if we don't have them, then we're going to keep stumbling and potentially fall into the same problems we did last season. What we need right now is consistency. The ability to just go out and get a result, no matter how hard it actually looks. At the moment, with the Strouk-Road on centre-back pairing, I don't mind it. I quite like them, but they are prone to the odd mistake that I don't think happens with Ampadu in the side. So I think if he's available, we absolutely need to see him. But the next question is around whether or not he faces Swansea, and this is the big question mark. And to be clear, the next banner that I've put down is one we know for sure. I guess we will know for sure when the lineup comes out at 2 o'clock on Saturday as to whether or not he is playing against Swansea City. But we'll have the better idea during Daniel Farke's press conference, I think, on Thursday. Because he's always relatively open when it comes to injuries and all that kind of stuff. He's not Bielsa open, who was just like, here's my first 11. But he's always going to be completely honest and say, yeah, this guy's injured. It's this problem. This is how we're going to approach it and deal with it. And I think we'll have an idea if we can expect to see Ethan Ampadu in the 20. When it comes to if he faces Swansea, I don't think he starts. Whilst in terms of quality and all that kind of stuff, I would have absolutely no issue with Ethan Ampadu being one of the starting players. But on the fitness front, I wouldn't want to rush him back. And you might look at it with an approach of, well, there's 8 matches left. What harm are you going to do? The harm you could do is put him back for the next 7 matches. Because those are the matches that are going to decide if we go up or not. And throwing someone in at the deep end against Swansea, only to lose them for the rest of the season, would be a little bit silly. I know that it's only a short-term remainder of the season, but that is super short-term thinking. So as much as I would love to see Ethan Ampadu, if he's not 100%, he doesn't make the starting 11 for me. Because that is just inviting trouble. But at the end of the day, as always, that is all what I think. I'll let you know what I think on my hopeful version of the starting 11 in the next few days, probably after Daniel Farke's press conference, something like that. I'm going to do my best to get back to more streaming and more recording. I'll be honest, the charity match is eating a lot of my time right now, including various negotiations and things with the likes of Match Bingo, who have a QR code that you can scan right here. Oh, thank you very much. But yeah, I will be back more often now. So that'd be fantastic. Anyway, let me know what you thought down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not yet. And you can even become a channel member. That is always massively appreciated. And all of the channel's revenue is going towards the charity match for the next however long until the charity match happens. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. And I will see you later. Ampadu, plays in yellow, white, and blue. Ampadu, he will bend legs to the right. He will break your legs into Ampadu, plays in yellow, white, and blue. Ampadu.